my first thought is that I I think we have to pay attention to the impact of a traditional sexual ethic on the lives of those who are sexually different, and
Mm-hmm.
their voices and experiences should inform how that ethic is articulated.
Mm.
Their voices should be taken into account. Their yeah, they should be accounted for, integrated somehow in the articulation of that ethic. And I think in it is a very trauma informed thing to create informed consent.
Mm.
Um, and so by that, I mean, another way of saying it is that clarity is kindness. So for our queer siblings, for a church that holds a traditional sexual ethic, um, to articulate that clearly,
Mm-hmm.
and not to hide behind, um, well, I don't mean that. I don't mean that pejoratively. But let me rephrase that to sometimes saying all are welcome here, and we accept you as you are. Can churches kind of use that generically to try to connect to all kinds of folks? I'm in favor of that. But there are lots of stories from queer folks who would have made a different decision if they'd known a church had a traditional sexual ethic, and they get into that church and they get involved with that church, and they hit a ceiling in that
Mm-hmm.
church where they realize, oh, I can't be a ministry leader, or I can't be a member. Well, and so not only do they have to confront the difference, they have to confront the heartbreak of leaving a community or being somewhat distanced from a community that they had really started to grow to love. And so I think one of the ways to mitigate the risk of trauma is just to be honest,
Yeah.
and to say, this is who we are.
Yes.
These are our convictions, and we want to be clear with you about that. And in the midst of that, we want to commit to loving you and to listening to you. But this is where we are.
Right.
Um, I think that could mitigate a lot of trauma, and it just does right by folks who they're like, thank you for saying that. I think I might need something
Right.
else. Um, which is fair too. Like that, all of us would want that for ourselves.